Welcome to Lubbock, Texas, and a Big 12 showdown. Iowa State, the Cyclones, still very much in the Big 12 championship chase. They've got Oklahoma on deck next week. And for Texas Tech, hoping to reward their new head coach with a win today, which would get them bowl eligibility and some more practice time with Joey McGuire. And we see Matt Campbell, one of the superstars right now. His name is involved in all kinds of college searches, but so happy and so successful with the Cyclones of Iowa State, a 5th consecutive bowl season, and they want so much more as they will face Texas Tech and their interim head coach, Sonny Cumbie, and a new guy at quarterback making his first start, the redshirt freshman from Las Vegas. It is Donovan Smith, whose dad is also the running backs coach for Texas Tech. DeAndre, a big day for him and his family.
Yeah, big day for him. And look, you don't want to go out and try to do too much early on. They want to get him comfortable in this game early on. Some quick passes to the outside on the perimeter.
He is a dual threat guy who has played in all 7 games for them. He takes over for the injured Henry Colomby. And they'll drop it off to Miles Price. Mike Rose there with the stop defensively. Last year's Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year. At 6'5", 215. They love his athleticism, his confidence, and he's been a real calm presence when he's come into games this year. He's their 3rd different starter. Tyler Shuck, the guy that started out the season, returned to practice this week as Sir Roderick Thompson is met in the backfield by Greg Eisworth. Sonny Cumbie has taken over for the fired Matt Wells. They lost to Oklahoma his first time out, making his home debut, the former Tech quarterback, who's really tried to install a belief in his guys and the shared experience of trying to help the seniors get to a bowl game and really set the tone with Joey McGuire for next season. Flags flying, movement on both sides of the line.
I think they'll get the defense on this one on the outside, like Orion Vance, the outside or the middle linebacker coming off the edge.
Him along with Eni Wazirike up front.
Offside, number 34. Defense jumped into the neutral zone, caused an offensive player to react. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
Ruby Vance, the senior from Cedar Rapids, so a bit more manageable here on 3rd down for the Red Raiders.
Nice job by the redshirt freshman using a hard count in his first series, too.
Now Thompson is the offset back, who's approaching 2,000 career rush yards. Smith forced out of the pocket, looks back across the middle of the field. He's got a first down out across the 45. And sprinting down the sideline into Iowa State territory is Miles Price. And a big 3rd down conversion.
Yeah, you want to see patience? Watch the quarterback. Patience. Was comfortable in the pocket. Even if he was out of the pocket, he kept his eyes downfield. Finds Price. Big pickup on the first drive for the freshman.
And a gain of 36. 1st and 10 from the 35. Iowa State working out of that 3-5-3. It's been an improved defense every season under Campbell. And they'll throw on 1st down, and they'll move the chains again down inside the 25 to Eric Ezukama, the junior from Fort Worth, who's their leading receiver, and a gain of 12.
Nice rhythm on the throw, right? Back foot plants, and that ball's out quickly. That's one of the things you see from Donovan Smith. It's a quick throw and release to the outside, giving his wide receivers an opportunity to get that ball out.
He's been good on his first 3 throws, 49 yards for Donovan. So Roderick stuffed at the line. This rush defense stout number 2 in the Big 12, only allowing 102 yards per game for Iowa State. It's a scoring defense, 14th best in the country. You don't get a whole lot of opportunities.
No, not at all. These guys, they fill their gaps. They play aggressive. They are fast and physical. When you watch the Iowa State defense, you get all 11 guys to the football every single play. That's how they've been able to be one of the top rush defenses in all of college football.
Credit to Campbell and John Heacock, their defensive coordinator. Smith will keep, and he's got it down inside the 15, a couple of yards shy of the line to gain. Tucker Robertson will come on to replace him. 3rd and 1. Smith gives to Tahj Brooks. Big hole up the middle. Brooks into the end zone. Touchdown. From 14 yards out for Texas Tech.
That's a nice job by the quarterback. Just check with me. Find the open gap. And he audible to the right play. That's just a wide open hole for Brooks to run through. That's a nice job by the quarterback seeing it. Audible at the line, getting the offense in the right play. And that's an easy touchdown run for Tahj Brooks.
Smooth as can be for quarterback Donovan Smith, engineering the 7-play, 75-yard drive and getting that pump jack going early.
Welcome back to Lubbock. Texas Tech is on the board. If you're from West Texas, you are familiar with what that is. A pump jack, a symbol of production in the oil industry. Here's how Sonny Cumbie described it to us. If it's raining or hot or cold, if the wind's blowing, it's night or day, doesn't matter. The pump jack works. If the operator's there watching it, if no one's watching it, the pump just keeps working. A part breaks, guess what? You replace it, and it keeps going and working. And same thing here with Texas Tech football. Keep it going, keep working. This is actually a daily reward. A chain with a pump jack on it that Sonny Cumbie started this week goes to the pump jack of the day, Kirk and Beth. Did you know what a pump jack was coming into West Texas?
Seen many.
I saw it, but
Seen many.
how cool is it that you get a chance to wear the chain every day at practice, and it's given by a player to the other player. So you have to earn the energy. You got to bring the energy every day, Beth.
There can be so much negativity, right? A negative energy around a coaching change.
Correct.
And they fired Matt Wells. They quickly brought in Joey McGuire in time to recruit. And, you know, Sonny Cumbie has told us this week, hey, I'd love to stay on this staff. I told Joey I'd love to be his offensive coordinator moving forward. And before you can go out and hit the recruiting trail, you got to recruit the guys that are already here and make sure they want to stay next season.
Absolutely.
And so the pump jack has been a great way to really bring some energy and enthusiasm into the locker room.
Well, we've seen a lot of coaching changes so far in college football, especially around this recruiting cycle that's approaching us. How do you keep guys together? How do you keep them understanding that there's a job at hand to do? And right now, Texas Tech, they feel it. They have that energy. They know they got a big-time opponent in Iowa State today. They know they got to bring a ton of energy.
Well, you know, the Cyclones are feeling the juice, too. They've got to be invigorated by Oklahoma's loss to Baylor this afternoon. Opens up the race even more. They've got the Sooners next week. And here is Brock Purdy. This is a terrific group of skilled players. It starts with Purdy, the running back, Breece Hall, Xavier Hutchinson, the wide receiver, and then one of the top tight ends in the country in Charlie Kolar. A lot for Brock Purdy to work with.
Yeah, a guy who's had 28 victories as a starting quarterback, the most in Iowa State football history. I call him Purdy power because Purdy's got an unbelievable amount of gifts. And you see him week in and week out. His experience, his ability to move this offense week in and week out.
Devin Drew with the tackle on Breece Hall. Few, if any, are relied upon as much as Breece Hall. Brock Purdy, the quarterback, is their second leading rusher. So when it comes to the run game, it's Hall all day.
Well, I mentioned it in our open. He's a workhorse. He does a little bit of everything for you. Not only can he run the football, he's a great receiver out of the backfield as well. They just want to get him the football in as many ways as possible.
About 125 yards per game is his average. Here's 2nd and 10. Hall will try the right side. Takes a hit, bounces off of it, and out across the 40. It'll bring up a 3rd down and about 5. Reggie Pearson got a nice stick. Breece Hall, by the way, a chance to make history and break a record that has stood for over half a century. A touchdown rushing today and next week ties the all-time FBS record set in 1970.
And these ain't no 1-yard plunges, by the way. This is he's ran the ball quite well into the end zone, but the first 3rd down for Iowa State.
Hall will rejoin Purdy in the backfield. Just 3 guys coming. Time for Purdy, and the pass is broken up. He was looking for Kolar, and Eric Monroe, the safety, was right there. It's 4th down.
Yeah, one of those 60-year seniors, Beth. Eric Monroe, a guy who, look, a lot of these 6-year guys had an opportunity to go on, graduate, maybe transfer. He's one of the guys that came back. Outstanding coverage on the outside. Again, by Eric Monroe, waiting for that ball to be delivered. Put that hand in there, knocked it down, and celebrate with your teammates. That's a job well done on 3rd down.
Andrew Mevis will punt this away back inside his own 30. Adrian Fry around his own 15-yard line. High end over end kick and down inside the 10-yard line. Good special teams coverage. A 49-yard punt, no return, as Darren Wilson made the nice play. 7-0 Tech in front.
Well, it was a big week in Lubbock. There's a big game today here in Lubbock, but there was another big game in the Sonny Cumbie household as well, giving love to his 5-year-old son, Hayes, because he's now a champion, a Super Bowl champion, flag football Super Bowl champion. The Falcons played the Cowboys in that Super Bowl this morning. Hayes' team came in undefeated. They won the whole thing, 24-20. Props to Mom Tamra for the pick, and also some video. By the way, guys, Sonny Cumbie's son, man, he's a defensive threat, pulling flags left and right.
It's already been a good start to the day for Sonny, and his team is up 7-0 over Iowa State. Oh, we got action footage right here for Hayes.
Yeah,
Nice.
Look at that, Cumbie. Look at that. That's nice pace there. And Joel Falani's former teammate.
Now that's from their Raiders game, I think, earlier that day. Falcons beat the Cowboys today. Is that a precursor?
Precursor. Falcons, Cowboys tomorrow, Sunday. That could be a precursor. We'll see.
I wonder if they'll, do we send that footage, Dawn, onto college NFL coverage tomorrow? So they'll have it?
Hey, that's a top 10 play right now. I'm sorry, that's a top 10 play. You mentioned Joel Falani, by the way. Yeah. So his son also plays on that Falcons team, and so there's a lot of joking around here. He was a wideout here with Sonny way back in 2004. So everybody says, oh no, it's going to be a Cumbie to Falani connection again.
Love it. Love it.
The interim coach, who has quite the coaching tree that he has been around. Donovan Smith, another connection out to the 30-yard line. Ball is knocked out. Iowa State has it. Eric Horn back inside the 20-yard line. It's a big hit on Travis Kuntz. And now both sides look to the officials to see if this was a catch and a fumble or not.
First down, Iowa State.
Or did they pluck it right out of the air?
That's the one thing, because he had possession of the football and he goes down to the ground. Now, was he down by contact and then the ball pops out? Because I'm looking at it, and my first look is that he's down. That's a catch, and he goes down before the ball's popped out. So I think when replay takes a look at this, that may go back to Texas Tech. That's just at my first glance. The ball pops out after he goes down to the ground. Again, first of all, the pocket presence by Donovan Smith. Again, and that time that ball goes down, I mean, Kuntz has it. I think he has possession of it. and then goes to the ground and it pops up.
Okay, so they need video evidence to overturn if Texas Tech is going to keep it, because the ruling on the field is an interception.
Correct. I think the fans are hearing the same thing, that they want to see another replay. Look, I think he has. Does he have full possession?
Down right there, no?
Now I wonder, are they saying that he never had possession of the football that would grant him being down by contact?
Texas Tech is calling a timeout here because they want to make sure. Sonny Cumbie is pointing at the monitor.
Texas Tech has called their first charge timeout. 30 seconds in length.
You know, having a chance to sit back and watch it a couple times, I think this is an interception. And the reason why is because I think in the no catch process, did he ever have firm control with his hand or arm? That's the first thing I'm looking at with Coach. If there's no firm control, then he never has control. That ball pops right up. I think that is a correct call on the field.
Yeah, his body just becomes the buffer, keeping the ball off the ground.
And it's a great job by our truck and our cameraman out there getting the different looks that we need, because Coach never had the firm control with his hand or arm around the football. So when he went down, that ball pops up. That's an interception for Iowa State. Great job by the officials getting it right on the field, getting it right on the field. Again, just watch the process of the catch. He never had firm control, so when that ball pops up, that's still a live ball. Interception for Iowa State.
So the pick for Eric Horn, and now the short field. They'll start out inside the red zone with a couple of tight ends and the fullback. Purdy keeps it, slings it down to the 1-yard line, and the catch is made inbounds. Xavier Hutchinson, good for 15 yards, and it's 1st and goal.
Well, it's Hall, it's Kolar, and let's not forget Mr. Hutchinson, one of the outstanding playmakers on this offense. Nice adjustment to the back shoulder fade from Purdy.
And now I think the officials may want to see if he had possession.
But watch the adjustment that he makes. I mean, the defender's nowhere near around, because the adjustment made by Hutchinson. Again, firm control with both hands, and the ground can help in that situation as long as you have both hands around that football, which he shows throughout the process.
The ruling on the field stands as called. It's 1st and goal, Iowa State.
Yeah, I didn't see anything throughout the video replay that would change the call on the field. That's two hard ones by the officials. They don't get a lot of love, man. I give the officials a lot of love here early on. 2 correct calls down there on the field.
It is Hall in the backfield alongside Brock Purdy. The give is to Breece, right up the gut, touchdown. Iowa State as they cash in the turnover. A score in 22 consecutive games now for Breece Hall. That puts him 1 shy of the all-time record, and a PAT away from tying this thing up.
Yeah, 49 total touchdowns in his less than 3-year career at Iowa State. And trust me, when that ball's inside the far 5-yard line, I don't think we have to guess who the ball's going to. If 28's in the backfield, does everybody just realize they're going to hand it off right to him? Touchdown, Breece Hall.
Extra point's good from Andrew Mevis. They only needed 34 seconds after the INT, a couple of plays.
It's Hall making his way to the end zone. Knotted at 7-7, Cyclones and Raiders.
The end zone has been home for Breece Hall over the course of his career. How about 22 straight games now with a rushing touchdown, chasing Bill Burnett from Arkansas with 23 games in a row from 1968 to 1970. So he can tie it next week and perhaps break it in the season finale. We are even at 7 apiece. Oh, we had the pleasure of watching that Tennessee offense last week. That is fast.
Yeah, three plays per minute, right?
Another big gainer for the Red Raiders offense. Eric Ezukama takes it 33 yards out of the Wildcat.
Yeah, out of the Wildcat. First of all, where's the quarterback? No Donovan Smith in the game. Something must be up, but a great job handing that ball off. Ezukama getting to the outside with a big gain.
Quick to the line, empty set for Donovan Smith, and he'll scoot out of bounds.
Donovan Smith.
Going back to that last play, Beth, it kind of caught the Iowa State defense off guard. Here's a defense that they plug the gaps. They are very sound. All of a sudden, a little bit of confusion there with no Donovan Smith lined up at quarterback. A lot of guys looking around. That time, the end around had them completely fooled.
Good balance with the run and the pass games. They've been solid on third downs. Their first possession and a half. Smith tipped and incomplete. Price almost had a chance to scoop it off the turf after somebody got a hand up on it at the line of scrimmage.
I think it might have been 34 or Ryan Vance. The linebacker just got up and just got a hand up. You don't see that too often. You got to think Donovan Smith is 6'5".
Yeah.
So you got to climb the ladder to go knock a ball down from a 6'5" quarterback.
Good news, too, for the Cyclones. Owazarike has returned after he was injured earlier. So they got a 3rd and 10 here for the first-time starter, Donovan Smith. He will keep slide, and he will be short inside the 40. So what does Sonny Cumbie do here? Injured player is the linebacker, Jake Hummel. Does the quarterback, Donovan Smith, return here on 4th down and 6? And he does. Red Raiders will go. So Roderick Thompson is the offset back. Only 3 guys rushing. The deep ball down the middle, and it's caught. Touchdown, Texas Tech. Miles Price, 39 yards for the score.
Wow, what a throw. The redshirt freshman just hangs in there. Look at the time. This is 4th and 6. And he sits back and he waits for that route to develop. And as Miles Price gets behind Kamani King, that ball was thrown perfectly. You talk about right in the breadbasket for Miles Price. There's not much he had to do. Just extend the arms. And the ball just laid right in there. Outstanding.
What a start for Donovan Smith.
Just watch the route. It just took time. And it's the fake to the outside and then get back to the inside. That ball was thrown perfectly. You tell the receiver, do not cross the goalposts, right? Just stay right in between those goalposts, and that ball was delivered perfectly.
3 catches, 76 yards already for Miles Price, and the 39-yard touchdown grab. Second touchdown pass of the season for Donovan Smith, his first as the starting quarterback, as they go 75 yards in 5 plays, under 2 minutes. 2 possessions, 2 scores.
And think about how that drive started again. It was the end around early on. It got Iowa State sort of confused, not seeing where the quarterback was, and you got a big play that really set them up on that side of the 50-yard line. And then from there, I mean, you talk about a redshirt freshman on 4th down, allowing that route to develop, staying in there, not throwing it too early, but right on time. 2 scoring drives early on for Texas Tech. Very well done. And if you think about it, I don't even know if that was Donovan Smith's true fault on the interception on the 2nd drive of the game.
Wolf beats it away. Noel a chance to return. Jumps over a would-be tackler and sprints it down the far sideline out near the 40-yard line. Well, just been such a fun season. All the chaos around college football.
It's scared to be a ranked team going against Purdue. That's all I'm going to say. Just, if you're ranked and you're playing Purdue, man, I know the fan bases are on high alert.
We're down to just 3 unbeatens. Cincinnati already has a win in hand this week. They stay undefeated. Ball pops loose. Texas Tech has it. Fields back inside the 35. And a takeaway for the Red Raider defense.
You talk about hustle. That's all you want from a defensive coordinator. You say, you got to hustle. Watch number 6, Rico Jeffers, the linebacker, just comes in late, and he knocks that ball out. Now, was Kolar's knee down? I don't know just yet, but watch number 6, Rico Jeffers coming in, knocking that ball. Seems to be simultaneous, but it could be that knee, that right knee of Kolar seems to be down. That ball was still secure in Kolar's hands, and that right knee is down before Jeffers, number 6, the senior from Garland, Texas, able to rip it out.
After reviewing the play, the receiver's right knee is down with possession of the ball. It'll be second down, Iowa State at the 46-yard line.
So it ends up being a 6-yard gain. It's second down and 4 for Iowa State at their own 46. Two tight ends here with Kolar and Allen. Breece Hall met in the backfield. Krishan Merriweather. Keith Patterson, the defensive coordinator, told us the middle linebackers have to play huge today, and there's a stop and a loss of 3.
Well, this is an outstanding group of linebackers. You just mentioned Merriweather, Colin Schooler. We saw Rico Jeffers earlier knocking the ball out. These guys compete. That level of this defense right now, they're bringing the intensity, they're bringing the aggressiveness. They know what's on the opposite side. That's 28, that's Breece Hall. We got to come together and gang tackle him, and you see a great job there by Merriweather, busting through the gap, making the play.
Third down and 7. Brock is in a tailback. Blitz coming. Purdy across the middle, caught by Hutchinson. First down across midfield. Let's see where they give him the forward progress. It's down to the 45. Then a gain of 12.
You see back-to-back good plays right by the defense for Texas Tech. And you got to remember the experience of Brock Purdy. It's just third down, and he just stands in there, delivers it comfortable to his best receiver, Xavier Hutchinson.
His 44th career start today. Noel with Williams on the coverage there. An all Big 12 quarterback last season. He is already a holder of 31 school records with over 10,000 yards passing and 1,000 yards rushing. That's a short list in the Big 12 with guys like Mayfield and McCoy and RG3. Purdy down inside the 40 to Darren Wilson, his 6th catch of the season. And at a gain of 6.
The one thing that I loved about watching the Iowa State offense all week long is that they like to drive the football. They want to execute. They like to drag the clock out a little bit. They look to the sideline. They're not a hurry-up operation. They're a team that takes their time, get lined up, get everybody on the same page, and they execute play after play. Here we are, 3rd and 4 again. Last time Texas Tech brought pressure, I think they'll play a little zone behind this front.
Hall looking for a seam, stumbled out of the backfield, and he's short. Only picked up a yard. They have held Breece Hall so far to 6 yards on 6 carries. And now it's 4th and 3.
Yeah, it's about building a wall. On that 3rd down, you build a wall. Everyone in your gap. Stay cheek to cheek, stays next to each other. Outstanding job. But again, do they bring pressure here on 4th down?
The 4-man rush. Purdy quick out of his hands, and it's a first down inside the 30 to Kolar. And a gain of 9 for the Mackey Award list guy.
That's just talent. 6'6", You give the inside to a tight end that size, that's first down every time.
They'll go quick tempo here on first down. Hall weaves his way for 4 or 5 down to the 25-yard line.
Again, that's such a mismatch. Think about it. It's fourth down. You're gearing up, and you got a 6'6" tight end lined up in the slot. You know, there's not many guys in college football that not only can match up with Charlie Kolar, but to think that you can put that in a window that not many defenders can go get.
Mel Kiper's got him on his top 10 list of tight ends. The senior out of Norman, Oklahoma, grew up playing basketball with Trey Young. Outstanding dual sport athlete. Play action, Purdy. Intercepted. Picked off at the 20-yard line. Colin Schooler, the FBS active leader in tackles and tackles for loss, adds a takeaway.
You talk about high praise. You mentioned the name Colin Schooler around here at Texas Tech, and they'll tell you, as he's getting that pump jack going again, that pump jack's getting some work already in this first quarter. What an outstanding job by Schooler. He just sat back in his zone, keeping his eyes on Brock Purdy. Purdy's eyes actually took him to the throw, and that was an easy interception for the fifth-year linebacker out of California.
Super senior from Dana Point. Second year after transferring in from Arizona. And he halts the drive on the edge of the red zone and gets the football back to Texas Tech. Final snap of this first quarter. It's been a good one for Donovan Smith and the offense. And they'll end it with a 7-yard gain, 14-7, Texas Tech. Offense has been humming, the defense getting in on it as well. Colin Schooler reading, reacting, picking, and a touchdown lead for the Red Raiders. Got an injury update coming up from the sideline as Texas Tech will take over here off of the interception, and Donovan Smith gets hammered. Let's send it down to Dawn.
Well, guys, this Iowa State defense without starting defensive end Will McDonald. I'm watching him on the sideline right now. After the last possession, he went into the locker room, came back out, grabbing his abdominal area. They came over. You can tell it's muscular. Put some kind of icy hot or something on that area. He's been working out. As of right now, he is still on this sideline. I talked to Greg Eisworth earlier this week, and he said, hey, with that guy up front, my life on Saturday, a whole lot easier. They are certainly missing him.
Yeah, their top 2 guys have been hurt today. The Wazarike has returned defensively. The Cyclones defense reeling a bit against first-time starter Donovan Smith as the Red Raiders have scored on their first 2 possessions, and they move into Cyclone territory as Smith will set him up here for 3rd and 1.
Yeah, nice couple runs that we've seen so far this game from Smith. And the one thing that I'm seeing is that watch Smith after every single play. He's getting the call from the sideline. How often do we see a quarterback run to the sideline, get a call, and then run back in? This is some of the redshirt freshmen getting the right play call, understanding, and now getting to a big-time 2nd and 1 where they may be able to take a shot down the field.
81 yards rushing already. Remember, Iowa State only allows 102 per game. That's second best in the Big 12. But the Red Raiders taking it to them thus far. Smith, play action, gonna throw it deep with the wind at his back, and the catch is made inside the 10. Kalen Geiger, it's 1st and goal, Texas Tech.
I just mentioned it, 2nd and 1, right? Big shot, high shot alert if you're on defense. Get the opportunity to allow the redshirt freshman to throw the football, and that was a beautiful throw again. Just it's the 2nd time that we've seen him wait for the route to develop and get that ball to the right shoulder.
Pass is under further review.
To the outside shoulder again. Donovan Smith so far, man, he's been accurate, very on point with his throws.
That one was good for 42 yards, ruling on the field a completion that sets him up at the 5-yard line. And it's now under review. Oh, was that a one-handed grab?
Yeah, he grabbed that.
Then the ball popped loose when he hit the ground.
I see one hand around the football. I don't see that ball touch the ground.
Yes, it does.
For a little bit, does he still I don't see him maintain the control. They may have to freeze that frame when the ball touches the ground, because I still think that it's captured by the elbow.
It can't touch, right, as long as he controls it, but
I still see the elbow capturing the football. This is going to be a tough one.
Yeah, right here you're going to see it.
After reviewing the play, the receiver does not have firm possession of the ball. It's an incomplete pass. Ball will go back to the 47-yard line. Third one.
Wow.
Well, it's been tough on the Tech fans because the calls have gone against them, but they've all been accurate.
That's a tough one, because that ball came all the way through, but no possession, did not maintain possession throughout the process of that catch. Yeah, the Tech fans are upset. They're like, all the calls are going against us today.
Yeah, you can see right here, that definitely pops out and bounces around. It can hit the ground as long as you control it, but
he never maintained the control. Yeah. I thought that ball may have snuck underneath that elbow for just enough.
Heck of an effort with the one arm by Geiger.
But again, Kamani King, number 19, the secondary defensive back for Iowa State, playing through the whistle, playing to the end.
So instead of 1st and goal at the 5, it's now 3rd and 1 back out near midfield. Trips right, they'll send a man in motion. And they'll run it with Saradrick, and he is stuffed. Second effort got him close, and it will come down to the spot. Zach Peterson with a terrific push up the middle for Iowa State. And it's a first down, Texas Tech.
Nice spot there by the officials. I thought that he had him trapped behind the line of scrimmage. You mentioned one of the captains on his team, the senior from Iowa, Zach Peterson. He breaks through, and he had the initial contact. The initial contact was definitely in the backfield for Texas Tech, but the power.
Boy, that's a very generous spot,
isn't it? That is a very generous spot. Seems to be that ball just a little bit shy of that 44-yard line.
Cyclone fans have a complaint on that one. Nonetheless, the drive continues. Tahj Brooks, who has a 14-yard touchdown run on his resume today, gains 3 there. Jake Hummel, who was another player that was injured earlier, has returned. Still no Will McDonald. What has already been a day of fireworks around the Big 12, with Oklahoma losing at Baylor this afternoon, falling from the unbeaten ranks. Off the ball fake, the throw out to the edge, and a first down catch inside the 35-yard line. Azariah Anderson's got it for 11. Smith is 6 of 9, 105 yards with a touchdown and a pick so far. He's already rushed for 29 yards. Tahj Brooks into a wall of defenders.
I hate to keep harping on this, Beth, but I'm kind of fascinated by this. Seeing a quarterback, because when you hear Texas Tech offensively, you think of hurry up, quick pace, fast, get on the ball. But being able to have the quarterback come over, get the call, relay the call, and then go back in the huddle, we're seeing them execute. So could this be something that Texas Tech can build on throughout the rest of the season as they continue to get the ball up and down the field?
3rd different starting quarterback this season. Henry Colomby was a scratch due to sickness this week. Tyler Shuck not quite 100% back as the former starter this week. So Smith will keep. He'll get the edge. He'll break a tackle and get a first down near the 20-yard line. Anthony Johnson had a shot at him, and I think Anthony might have thought Smith was going to step out of bounds.
No, but it was a tremendous block on the outside by the receiver, Trey Cleveland. He seals the edge of Greg Eisworth. Watch just the right side. It's the receiver, Cleveland. He seals the edge, keeps Eisworth inside, and allows Smith to get to the outside for the big first down pickup.
Tenth play of this drive. They've gone 50 yards. They're approaching 5 minutes with this time of possession. Smith keeps the play alive and tripped up as he may have gotten a yard or two.
It's what you do with your opportunity, right? You mentioned that Tyler Shah is out right now. Then Columbia, you mentioned, also out. So now you get the redshirt freshman who went against Oklahoma, got some experience, and now you're seeing him now in his first start. He's making some great decisions with the football and showing off his athletic ability.
Didn't play last fall and then returned to action in the spring. Now getting a big opportunity here. They'll throw it, and the catch is made down inside the 15. It's going to set up a 3rd and a couple. And they will call Donovan Smith back over to the sideline. Here we go. Here's the quarterback whisperer, Sonny Cumbie, making. He's going to get his steps in today, Kirk.
I love it. Trust me, this is great. This is where you're watching them at practice and seeing them go through the calls and get the call back into the huddle. This is where you taking your redshirt freshman and telling him, hey, this is what the situation is. I think this is perfect for a guy in his first start.
3rd and 2. Red Raiders are 3 of 5 so far in the first half. They'll keep it all the way. Got the first down inside the 5. 1st and goal, Red Raiders. The other thing it does, too, it takes away any miscommunication, any misunderstanding, holding up signs or looking to the sideline. You get right in his ear and help him understand what you want to do. He gains 9 here.
Well, this is easy because he's 6'5", 230. So you just hand it off and allow him, not even hand it off, you let him keep it, find a nice little alley, and then now you throw in a wrinkle down here now near the goal line. 4 wide receivers up top, 1 receiver to the bottom. But again, keep your eye on Smith inside the 5.
Try and run it. They lose a yard. Scored on their first drive, the interception on their second, and then another touchdown the 3rd time they had it.
Not very often we see the Iowa State defense on its heels. They've been on their heels so far today. They don't know, hey, where do we go? Do we blitz? Do we stay in zone? Because of the element of Donovan Smith's legs. You just can't go tackle the wide receiver. You can't tackle the running back. You have to have a set of eyes on number 7.
14th play of the drive. 2nd and goal. Smith will keep. And he will be bottled up at the line of scrimmage. And it will be 3rd and goal. Zach Peterson was the first guy there.
Yes, indeed. 55 is playing a great game so far. You need guys to make unbelievable plays when needed, and Zach Peterson is showing that. I always say the guy with the big sombrero, I mean, he's got the big job, and his job is not only to defeat the offensive guard and tackle, but to also keep the eye on the quarterback. He does both. He beats the offensive lineman and is able to secure Smith in the backfield.
3rd and goal from the 3. Smith will throw for it. 50-50 ball. And it's caught for the touchdown. Eric Ezukama's got it. And flags fly as the 2 guys start jawing at one another. 2nd TD toss for Donovan Smith.
I think he just loved the matchup. He loves that I got a 6'3", 220-pound wide receiver out there, and I'm going to throw it to just a barely 6-foot Anthony Anderson. I'm going to throw it to my guy to say you can out-jump their guy. That ball was placed perfectly, and it was almost 2 catches, right? The ball deflected a little bit, and on the second, on the way the ball coming down, a nice job there for Ezukama bringing it in.
Nearly a 9-minute drive, 15 plays, 70 yards, and Donovan Smith with his 2nd TD toss.
Well, you get your first start on the FBS level. How are you going to handle it? Donovan Smith putting on a show.
Senior Airman Brummel, deployed to Al Salim Air Base, Kuwait. Let's go Clones!
Well, thanks to so many folks for their service to the United States, including Troy Duvall, our lead video operator. operator, a sergeant in the United States Army. He served in the Air Defense Artillery as a Patriot missile crewman. And there's Troy working hard out in our truck.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, Troy, for all you've done and all that you continue to do for our crew.
Well, he's been dodging me on the golf course, so we gotta figure that out. He's been dodging me. Good job, Troy.
Well, just like Sonny Cumbie's son Hayes, we talked about his Super Bowl win in flag football. Troy also a Fort Polk Post flag football champ from his days serving down in Louisiana.
Yes, indeed.
All right, the story of this one, 21-7 Texas Tech. Big first start for Donovan Smith, who has more total yards than the entire Cyclone offense. And Breece Hall has been a non-factor. One of the leading rushers in the country, just 8 carries for 10 yards. 2nd and 10 for Iowa State, hoping to keep their dreams alive of playing in the Big 12 championship game. Pass is broken up out at the 35-yard line. Good coverage by Dadrian Taylor-Demerson.
Yeah, it started with Tyree Wilson. I mean, a nice get-off, forcing Purdy out of the pocket, and now 3rd and long again for this Texas Tech defense. They've been winning 1st and 2nd down. And so now when you get into these 3rd and longs, you have an opportunity. Do you pressure? Do you play a little zone? I think that they bring pressure here. Their secondary has been playing well early on. Try to heat up Brock Purdy on 3rd down.
No in motion. Hall is offset. Purdy, just 3 guys coming. Everybody else drops. He'll try it underneath and give his receiver a chance. And Noel will not get anywhere near the first down yardage in a 4th down coming up.
You talk about swarm. Watch all the red shirts. Just watch. That ball is thrown, and watch the red shirts converge. You can't bring, it's not about the first guy missing. It's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Red Raiders finishing at the football. That's team defense getting off the field on 3rd down.
Nevis to punt it away. Fry end over end into the wind, and that wind will hold it up and leave it short. It will take a couple of Cyclone bounces. 28-yard line is where Texas Tech will start after the 43-yard punt with 4.5 minutes to work with. Well, thank you to all the veterans out there. And another big play for Donovan Smith as he goes deep downfield to Miles Price.
Got a flag down, but Beth, what a big-time throw. Are you sure this kid's a redshirt freshman? Because that throw is a guy who's been around college football for a long time. Getting the ball over the linebackers and right on the receiver. Miles Price having a big first half.
That goes for 34 yards. Price now 4 catches for 110 yards.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 58, defense. 15-yard penalty will be added to the end of the run. First down, Texas Tech.
Oh, that's the senior
Wazirike.
Wazirike.
First unsportsmanlike conduct foul in the game.
Yeah, that's frustration. That's all that is. Frustration watching toward the end of the play. But outstanding throw again. Miles Price, that's a late developing route, but look at the time Donovan Smith had to throw the football. He gets it over that that second level of the linebackers and right in the hands of Miles Price.
So Tech on that penalty, they're almost into the red zone. Smith with the rollout, evasive, and is able to dump it off and make something positive out of it to Xavier White. They'll get 3 yards back the other way. Here's what happened after the play. It wasn't on the quarterback, it was on TJ Storment, is the guy that Wazirike went after.
Yeah, again, frustration. You think about all that time to throw for Donovan Smith, you're not getting there, and you're accustomed to getting there. McDonald out on that side as well for Iowa State. So where does the pressure come from? Because this Texas Tech offense is humming. They are getting whatever they want.
32 plays, only 3 of them for negative yardage. Smith looking for the end zone. Has a man. Touchdown, Texas Tech. 15 yards to Ezukama, his second TD grab of the day. And it's the third touchdown throw for Smith.
Now I want you to play quarterback with me for a second, Beth. I've got a 6'3" receiver on the outside, and I got a 5'9", 180-pound defensive back in Datron Young. I think I'm going to throw it up again. And we've seen that's been the best ball thrown for Donovan Smith. That little jump ball, that ball is high pointed at the top by the 6'3" Ezukama. And again, another successful touchdown drive for Texas Tech.
Over 200 total yards in the first half for the redshirt freshman Donovan Smith. His third touchdown throw. Tech big.
Donovan Smith, throughout this first half, has shown his ability to run the football with 51 yards on the ground, but that 170, 3 passing touchdowns, I didn't expect this coming in, but he's showing his ability off so far in this first half.
They have scored on 4 of their 5 possessions. At the top of the Big 12 standings, TCU at Oklahoma State later on tonight. That becomes huge for the Cowboys. Nice throw from Purdy downfield to Hutchinson. Gets out across midfield, and boy, I think the right term is here, a desperation drive for Iowa State. They got to get something going before the break.
Yeah, they do get the ball to start the second half, but you need points here. 3, a touchdown, anything. Getting the ball to Hutchinson is a good start.
That's their biggest play of the day, 25 yards. Purdy will dump it off to Hall. He's really struggled finding space to run it. And on the screen, Jaylin Hutchins locked that down as well.
I'm just impressed. Texas Tech defensively. The first guy there, even if you miss, it's all about rallying the troops, rallying the guys. And it's been the second, third, fourth guy in, been able to bring and truly game tackle.
Amazing, 9 touches for 6 total yards for Hall in the first half as he lost 4 there. Purdy all day dancing around, looking for somewhere to go. And he runs out of time. A secondary sack, and Jaylin Hutchins will take credit for it.
That's all effort. That's an effort sack. 6 foot, 305-pound junior from 40, Texas. And look, just watch the effort. Never gives up on the play. Jaylin Hutchins bringing Purdy down.
Back-to-back negative plays. It's 3rd down and 18.
Texas Tech just called their second charge time out of the half. Game clock operator, please reset the game clock to 2 minutes, 1 second, please. 2 minutes, 1 second.
Texas Tech will call the timeout here, try and get the stop and get the ball back for some more points. 1:57 to go. They are excited to be on their feet. Standing O for the defensive effort here in Lubbock today.
Yeah, he kept talking. We just want to keep our same 11 on the field. They felt that if they keep the same 11 from week to week, the consistency that they could have defensively. But right now, Keith Patterson and his defense playing very well.
They'll only rush 3, giving Purdy time. Looking downfield, and he overthrows it. Intended for Hutchinson, and here come the flags. Eric Monroe had the coverage.
That's going to be a penalty, and one that wasn't needed. That ball was overthrown.
Pass interference, number 11. Defense, 15-yard penalty. First down, Iowa State.
First penalty against the Red Raiders in what was obviously an uncatchable ball.
Yeah, that ball's behind him. I mean,
Monroe
that ball
got there too soon.
The LSU transfer, Monroe, he just got there a little early. But he's on top of it. Great coverage, but I think he just a little anxious. Got there too early.
Well, that was on 3rd and 18, too, and they were getting ready to get their offense back on the field. New life for Brock Purdy. Caught inside the 30. Sean Shaw had a gain of 14 for a first down.
I think going into this hurry-up 2-minute mode for Iowa State now, getting them lined up, more tempo.
Receiver screen, broken tackle, and getting the edge is Jaylin Noel. Boy, they're trying to turn that one penalty into a 14-point swing here.
Yeah, it's a big penalty. I mentioned they get the ball back. to start the second half. So the first thing here is we got to get points. And this is an opportunity to get the ball to Charlie Kohler, get the ball to Hutchinson. Those are your big-time players down here as they start to get close to this red zone. Those are the guys. If I'm Texas Tech, keep an eye on those two players, 8 and 88.
Trips left. Kohler to the near side. Hutchinson slotted left. Purdy finds Hutchinson. First down, Iowa State, and a gain of 7. Plenty of time on the clock. Full complement of timeouts remaining. Now they can run some Breece Hall. Purdy leading the way to block, and Hall finds the end zone. The spin back to the outside, and a big touchdown to give the Cyclones a little momentum here and a run of 17.
But Breece Hall, we talked about how special of a back he is. Not having the greatest of first halves, makes a move, a spin move back to the outside, and scores a touchdown.
An extra point is good from Mevis. A costly penalty allowing Iowa State to keep the drive alive. And Purdy and Breece Hall say thank you very much. We'll take that. 7 plays, 75 yards in 2 minutes and 5 seconds.
I think Iowa State, they're fine. They feel like, look, we got some points. We fixed some things, correct, make some adjustments at halftime. We got the whole second half ahead of us. I think the first job here is make sure that Texas Tech doesn't get another score before the half.
1:11 to go. How much do you trust your young quarterback here? And we're about to find out. Let's go down to the field with Dawn.
Well, Beth, a couple of Iowa State players I talked to this week talked about how close this team is and that lends to great communication, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Told me that I was going to see after every possession them talk to each other in between every single level. They would go to each other. I haven't seen any of that. I got to tell you, super quiet down here on this Iowa State sideline. No energy, and that communication has certainly been missing this entire half.
Well, we're about to find out what the defense can do as well, because it would appear that Sonny Cumbie is going to let Donovan Smith have a go at it. Empty set with 1:11 to play and 1 timeout. They do get Will McDonald back in there along the defensive line. Smith steps up. He'll drop it off underneath to Geiger. And a gain of 2 yards, and it will cost them some time off the clock or their last timeout here.
Still plenty of time. It depends on what you do here on second down. They need the positive play.
They do have the wind at their back if they can get close to field goal range. Almost intercepted out near midfield, and it's going to be 3rd down.
It's a huge 3rd down here, because do you actually run the football here? Because if you do, then you make Iowa State, force them to call a timeout. There's still plenty of time left. That if Texas Tech doesn't convert here, Iowa State has time to maybe try to get another score. A huge 3rd down for both sides.
Matt Campbell checking with the linesman over there to make sure they get the timeout if things go their way. Tech will run it. Thompson, and he plunges out across the 35, and he's got the first down in a run of 8.
You were kind of expecting run there just to see what you can get. They picked up the first and now continue the 2-minute.
Quick to the line. Smith caught across midfield. That'll stop the clock to move the chains. They still have the timeout with 26 seconds. Jed Castle's 18 yards on the catch.
They still preserve that 1 timeout.
Now trying to get set.
Now they got to call a timeout.
Texas Tech has called their 3rd and final charge timeout of the half.
Remember, the official held the ball, and that's what I think Cumbie's upset about. The head coach, he's upset because the clock didn't stop. So once they set the chains, possibly would have called a timeout, because once you substitute that gives Iowa State the opportunity to substitute, and you have the official standing over the football who's ready, who's going to wait for the ready for play. So here you are, you have the switching. It looks like a substitution. Now he's holding, the official is holding the clock, waiting. And finally, Cumbie calls the timeout. I think that's what he's upset about.
Fired up about the substitution pattern there. 14 seconds to go. No timeouts left. You saw how positive he was being with his guys in that last huddle.
Well, the thing is, Tech never substituted, though. That's the hard part there. So
you got to either throw to the edge, get out of bounds, or you got to make the catch and hustle to the line and spike it.
Get as much as you can if Donovan Smith, the quarterback. If it's not there, throw the ball away.
Smith, catch is made underneath. Oh, terrific job to run to the other side of the field and get out of bounds to stop the clock by Price, who's having a monster first half. He picks up 20 more there, 5 catches, 130 yards.
Wow, that could have been disaster, but it turns into a positive play. If Price goes down there, you got to run the field goal team out as quick as possible with no timeouts left. But the ability to get all the way to the outside and then step out of bounds, now you have time to set up and kick a field goal to end the half.
Jonathan Garaby's 10 for 10 this year, a long of 48. This is a 45-yarder. Got the leg. And it's good. As if Donovan Smith didn't need to show you anything more, he runs the 2-minute drill. And they grab the momentum back, 31-14 at the half. Texas Tech trying for the stunner against Iowa State. Cyclones will receive the second half kickoff. Brock Purdy and Donovan Smith. Look at the bottom there. One's been around a long time, one just getting going.
Yeah, and you think about with Purdy, 48 of those yards came the last drive of the first half. So it's been really a dominant performance by the Texas Tech defense that really stole the show as well in that first half.
Just when it appeared the Cyclones would seize the momentum, they had a nice drive late in that first half to score, led by Purdy and Hall. He overthrows it downfield, but there is a penalty flag. And then the quick counter by Texas Tech to get the late field goal and the 31-14 lead.
Pass interference, number 23. Defense, 15-yard penalty, first down.
That's the second big pass interference flag against this secondary for the Red Raiders. Breece Hall met in the backfield and a big hit again by Merriweather. We've called his name quite a bit. Let's go down to the field for an update from Dawn.
Well, Beth, there's a lot of football left. This one's not over. Still 2 quarters left in this game. Sonny Cumbie told me all of that in about 30 seconds at halftime. It's pretty clear what his message to his team is. They were able to hold Iowa State to just 32 yards on the ground in that first half. He told me that wasn't surprising to him. His defense outside of 2 games has been pretty great at stopping the run. Matt Campbell, frustrated, said that's about as bad of a half of football that he's seen. Disappointing with a veteran group. He said this half will define who we are.
And Purdy's pass is picked off by Taylor Demerson. Second pick. And Texas Tech will grab it right back.
This is just an outstanding job by a defensive back being in phase. You always talk about running with the wide receiver, but just watch the technique by Taylor Demerson. He's just running foot for foot, eyes back at the quarterback, and that ball's delivered right there. Outstanding job of not only getting in front of the receiver, but also making the catch. That's just a great job by the corner being in phase and taking the ball away. Second interception for Brock Purdy on the day.
Boy, a frustrating afternoon so far for this Iowa State offense that is coming off of a 30-point performance against Texas.
It's pump jack time. That pump jack has been getting some work today, Beth.
Smith will keep, and they'll get it out across the 25, close to the 28-yard line. Gain of 6.
Definitely not the way that Iowa State wanted to start the second half. They wanted to push the ball down the field. You saw it early on. They got the pass interference on the double move for Hutchinson, then trying to attack deep down the field again, and this one was intercepted. So we see what Iowa State's trying to do. They're going to try to press the ball down the field, and if you're Texas Tech offensively, you don't have to change much. Continue to keep running your offense with Donovan Smith, not only on the ground, but also through the air.
Over 200 yards passing, over 50 yards rushing. We'll run it here for another short gain. He'll bring up 3rd and 1. Tahj Thompson gains 3.
Now this is the element again, 3rd and short. This is what Texas Tech, and I think this is what the difficulty what Iowa State is having right now. They didn't necessarily know who's going to be the starting quarterback. So a lot of what they're doing, adjusting, has to be on the run today, trying to figure out how can they stop Donovan Smith on a 3rd and short.
We've seen Sonny Cumbie all day bring his quarterback over to the sideline so he could talk to him, look in his eye, not signal as much from the side, and it's worked so well through the first half of play. Looking for a 3rd down conversion, and they'll get a lot more. Inside the 40, Tahj Brooks down inside the 25-yard line.
I want you to see the kick-out block by the left tackle, TJ Storment. Watch the kick-out block on the left side. Secures that edge, and that's a big-time hole for Tahj Brooks. Again, 3rd and 1. You can't just converge on the running back. It's been the ability of Donovan Smith that you have to have an extra defender, an extra pair of eyes on the quarterback. No one's there for Tahj Brooks.
51 yards, their biggest play of the day. 1st and 10, and they are down in the red zone. Brooks will stay out there, deep in the pistol. He'll get it again. To the 16-yard line. Cut down by Shim Young. Dawn?
Beth, we are seeing a healthy Tahj Brooks. He was injured prior to the Texas game, told me this week. He worked his way back slowly. He didn't want to rush back, felt like it was a minor leg injury that could have turned into something major if he wasn't careful with it. So this is the first week that he has felt 100% healthy, has his strength back, clearly is pretty comfortable making cuts and running again.
Well, they like to go with the hot hand, in this case the hot legs as well, and Brooks has been the guy today. Trying to cash in the turnover. Brooks, strong running down to the 11-yard line and a flag in the backfield. Bo Freeler with the tackle.
Holding, number 70, offense, 10-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
That's Weston Wright, the left guard. It's not been the number of penalties today. It's been the yardage for both sides that have been setbacks. Back to Tahj Thompson, a tailback. Play action for Smith. Has his man down inside the 20-yard line. Coming back to help out his quarterback to make the catch was Trey Cleveland. And they'll get those 10 yards right back.
Now gives them a more manageable 3rd down. 3rd and 7 is a lot better than what they had before. And it also opens up what? The quarterback run game, but it also opens up the entire field, I think, for Donovan Smith, who's seeing the field great today. He's seeing from the right to the left. He's been able to go through progressions. Big 3rd down here.
They need the 10-yard line. Blitz coming right up the middle. Smith trying to get away from it, and he does. Keeps the play alive. Sidearms it downfield, and it's caught. And lunging for 1st down yardage is Geiger. Let's see where his knee went down. And it appears to be just shy. What a scramble by Donovan Smith.
Unbelievable effort by Smith. He should be in the grass of, looks like, Orion Vance. He should be there. He should bring him down. But the ability to get out and make something out of nothing, I think the momentum, you got to go for it here on this 4th down. This crowd is feeling it. Everyone's standing up. This is a big moment in this game.
4th and inches. They will not go under center.
I keep it in my quarterback's hands.
Smith. He'll run it to the right side. Has to try and back his way down to the 10-yard line. The spot looks short.
It'll depend on this spot. I like the call, though. Keep it in the quarterback's hands. But is there enough?
The nose of the football, is it on the 10? It looks like they may call for a measurement here. Will McDonald and Mike Rose were there to bottle up Smith.
I like the call. You keep it in your quarterback's hands. But I don't see enough penetration on that line of scrimmage. I think he came up just probably a half-yard short on that one. Love the decision. Love the play call.
And it is short. Iowa State will take over on downs. Big stop for the Cyclones to take the ball back in the red zone. 9:14 to play here in the third. 31-14, Texas Tech. After the 4th down stop, Iowa State back out there. 1st and 10 from inside their own red zone. Trying to get something going on the ground with Breece Hall, and it has been tough sledding. Colin Schooler is there for the stop, and a loss of 2.
Whether it's Schooler, Merriweather, I mean, Rico Jeffers earlier, these linebackers have been active today for Texas Tech. It's what you talk about as a linebacker. Let's play on their side of the line of scrimmage, and we've seen that all game long.
Last 2 games, Hall has been averaging 7 yards per carry. Today, 2 yards per carry. He's only got 25 total for the 3rd best runner in the country heading into the weekend in terms of yards per game. Purdy buying time. Drops it off underneath to Hutchinson. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
We haven't called Charlie Kohler's name a ton this game. Early on, just 2 catches on the day.
Yeah.
I think this could be an opportunity to get him going in this second half. Obviously, we know Hutchinson, the big play guy, but those 2 guys, 88 and 8, have to be huge.
Only 25% on 3rd downs today. With the veteran Purdy. Pressure's coming. Incomplete. And a flag from way downfield. Out by midfield, this flag comes in.
Yeah, I think they're going to get Eric Monroe. They're going to get number 11, the safety, on Kohler. I felt like he got a little too handsy and held on to Kohler, who was trying to break open late across the middle.
Yeah, because it was nowhere near the intended receiver.
No. It's on Monroe, I think.
There are 2 fouls on the play for both teams. Personal foul, face mask number 54, offense, holding number 11, defense. Those fouls offset, will replay, 3rd down.
Yeah, he was the guy I just talked about. First of all, Charlie Kohler, watch 11. Eric Monroe, he's holding on. That's the one I saw early, and the official's right there to make that call, but then you get the face mask penalty on defense and on offense.
3rd and 8 here as they replay the down. Empty set now for Purdy. They blitzed last time, they'll do it again. Purdy back steps, has his man underneath, and terrific open field tackle. Taylor Demerson denying him the 1st down yardage.
Wow. Sometimes they don't go down in the stat sheet as a big play, but this is one you got to circle. Because Dadrian Taylor Demerson, that's a turnover. That's a turnover type tackle because he's one-on-one on the outside, no one around. He makes that tackle, secures the play, and now Iowa State has to punt. Big tackle there by 25, Taylor Demerson, all on his own.
High booming kick. inside the 35-yard line and down close to the 30. And a big special teams play for the Red Raiders. Adrian Fry with a 38-yard return.
It's always make the first guy miss. That's what you want to do. Make the first guy miss. Once you get one guy to miss, then you find the wall. Where's the wall at? The wall's all the way to the left. And you just follow the convoy. Good job by Adrian Fry making the first guy miss and then go find the wall.
Well, they had it down here deep just a moment ago and could not reach the end zone. A 4th down stop for Iowa State, and now the Cyclones defense called upon once again. 1st and 10, Red Raiders from the 30. Smith under duress, and he goes down. Sacked by Blake Peterson.
I think this is the first freshman mistake that we've seen all game long. Like, this is a guy in his first start, and that was a play of a guy in his first start. That time, try to do too much instead of just get rid of the football. Outstanding job by Peterson, but that's one I think Donovan Smith should just try to throw away, get to the next down.
First sack and a loss of 11. It pushes him out to the 41. Tahj Brooks, the back. Smith with the time, waits for it to open down the middle, incomplete as the ball got knocked out. That's Rigdon, who appeared to haul it in and then couldn't hold on.
Yeah, nice job, 37. Jordan Morgan comes in, nice hit, head across, and dislodges the football. You mentioned it, Beth. He waited, Donovan Smith did, for that window to open. It wasn't open right away, but man, it finally opened up. He delivered a strike, but Morgan, playing top down, dislodges the football.
And now it's 3rd and 21. 5 receivers for the Red Raiders. Showing a little pressure off the edge. They'll bring it. Smith will throw it the other way. Good cut back to the inside and down to the 22-yard line. Goes Tahj Brooks, a gain of 19. And it's 4th down and a couple.
As solid as the Iowa State defense has been throughout the year, that was miscommunication. They left Tahj Brooks all by himself. That was just a coverage that was messed up. Someone dropped Brooks, and that's a wide open play that gives Texas Tech here an opportunity of a 4th and 3.
So they didn't get it on 4th and 1. They'll try again here. 4th and 3. Smith will keep it in his own hands, trying to get to the outside, and he's hauled down. And it's the second 4th down stop of the quarter for Iowa State, led by Isaiah Lee. Iowa State making the adjustments, and they will get the ball back. Down 31-14, 5:17 to go in the 3rd.
Hi, I'm General C.Q. Brown, Jr., Chief of Staff of the United States Air Force, and a 1984 graduate of Texas Tech. I want to wish good luck to the Red Raiders against Iowa State today. Go Tech, and also make a special shout out to Dead 820 and the Sky Raiders.
Oh, thanks to you, General Brown, who's responsible for the organization, training, and equipping of nearly 700,000 active duty Guard, Reserve, and civilian forces serving in the U.S. and overseas. As we welcome you back to ESPN College Football Veterans Week on ESPN, brought to you by USAA. And Hutchinson able to haul in the pass from Purdy.
They want to get the ball to him a lot more. The time is now for Brock Purdy to find Xavier Hutchinson the rest of this half. He's the big play guy. They need to push the ball down the field.
6 catches, 89 yards for Xavier. They're going to go deep again on the run and incomplete. intended for Darren Wilson around the 10-yard line. Let's see if they get a little adrenaline rush here from their defense. Back-to-back stops, denying Texas Tech a chance to cash in a turnover and a long punt return.
I think the bigger thing here is that Texas Tech has made Iowa State offensively one-dimensional. I mean, they've really taken Breece Hall out of this game. They forced Brock Purdy to have to find Hutchinson, who now goes out of the game for this snap.
Hall's season low is 69 yards. He's only run for 25 today. Hall gets the call. And Breece Hall spinning out of a tackle for a first down inside the 35. Good push up front from Jaylin Noel and a rush of 13.
Yeah, the touchdown run earlier and now that one. That was probably his second best rush of the day. Getting north and south. Now getting a little push on that offensive line.
Hall, patient. Down to the 29. Looks like they'll spot him actually knee down at the 30. Merriweather was there to make the hit. Hall will come out. Jaylin Brock is in.
Hutchinson enters the game now. So now you got your big threat wide receiver lined up at the top. Kohler here at the bottom.
Brock Purdy surveys the scene. Looks Kohler's way. And a fight for the football down at the 10-yard line. The officials get together and say it's a catch, but for which side?
They've had a battle throughout this game, right? We've seen these two going back and forth. And they always say what tie goes to the receiver, but it looks like Monroe wrestles that one at the end of the play.
The handful of reviews already today, I think we've been in agreement. They have been correct calls.
Yes.
For Texas Tech, though, they've all gone against them, and so the crowd may not like what they're about to hear.
Ruling on the field stands as called. First down.
Yeah, Texas Tech folks aren't going to like that one, but I think that's the right call. The more I looked at that replay, the two hands grab the football, and as he goes down to the ground, the body part touches, but he still maintains the control. But again, Monroe at the end, tremendous job fighting to the end. That's what you're taught as a defensive back. Fight all the way to the end. Make the officials have to make that call. But again, I think the officials did get that one right.
Looks like the mark is at the 11-yard line, so they can still get a first down at the 1. 1st and 10 here for Brock Purdy. Purdy will keep. Gets a block on the edge. He's down inside the 10-yard line. Taylor Demerson ran him out. Remember, the last two possessions, 4th down stops for Iowa State when Texas Tech could have opted to try and put a couple of field goals, 6 points on the board. It chose not to.
Yeah, you're exactly correct. But this Tech defense has been playing outstanding. I mean, you talk about the big play right there to Kohler. That's a 50-50 ball that they were able to secure, but Tech's been all over it. They continue to play outstanding defense.
Purdy, back of the end zone, has a man, Kohler, touchdown. 9-yard strike, Purdy's first TD pass of the day.
There was two players that needed to come alive in the second half. One was Xavier Hutchinson. The other was the tight end, the All-American, Charlie Kohler.
7 plays, 73 yards, just over 2 minutes. Extra point is good. 31-20, Texas, 31-21, Texas Tech with the lead. 3:03 to go in the third.
Talk about needing a touchdown. You need it. You find your go-to guy, Charlie Kohler, in the back of the end zone. Cyclones cutting the deficit.
Alabama, Ohio State, Cincinnati, and Michigan all winning in the top 10. Oklahoma, a loss today at Baylor. And so just the 3 unbeatens remaining. Cincinnati already a win in hand as they had an impressive victory. Desmond Ridder, the all-time career touchdown passing leader, beating USF last night. This Big 12 race is going to be real fun over the course of the last couple of weeks. Oklahoma, after the loss, they will host this Iowa State team next week and then finish Bedlam in Stillwater. They win out, they're in the championship game. Oklahoma State wins out, they are in the Big 12 championship game. Baylor and Iowa State still very much alive. Of course, Iowa State needs to rally today and then try and hand the Sooners back-to-back losses. Their defense has picked things up, certainly here in the third. Greg Eisworth with the hit on Tahj Brooks. Don't forget, we've got plenty more to come, including that head-to-head ranked matchup from the Grove. Ole Miss hosting Texas A&M. Notre Dame in action on ABC tonight. Pac-12 After Dark will feature the Oregon Ducks. Another one of those one-loss teams whose resumes looking better and better as Ohio State continues to crush opponents. And, of course, the Ducks have a win on the resume in the shoe.
Yeah, the Ducks got to continue to win, and they got to continue to keep their foot on the gas. That's the same thing here for Texas Tech. I mean, it seems that obviously the momentum has now shifted. Iowa State now has picked it up defensively. You mentioned it. Offensively, they're coming off of a touchdown drive. And it seems that now the Texas Tech offense may have stalled after a couple missed opportunities on points.
Here's their first punt of the day. And that will drift towards the sideline and out of bounds. .42 yards on that kick. And 1:19 to go. Brock Purdy and this offense got to be feeling much better about themselves after that last scoring drive.
And it's still plenty of time, which means that they can still run their offense. Similar to what they've done all season long. They push the ball down the field. They're within 10 now. But I think now you can still try to reestablish Breece Hall on this drive. Get a nice drive going. Execute down the field.
All 13 carries, 41 yards so far today. Purdy will throw it. And he's got Hutchinson. First down across the 45 and run out of bounds in the far sideline. By DeMarcus Fields, a gain of 22. And now they're starting to put together the big plays.
Man, off the play action, right? You get a little play action, get everybody to suck up on Breece Hall, and then all of a sudden you have a streaking Hutchinson through the middle of the field.
Hutchinson may have injured himself on that last play. He will stay in the game. Looked like he was clutching his arm. Purdy wide open underneath. They lost Allen. Hurdling over a defender and down inside the 35. And the Cyclones are fired up as he went right over Eric Monroe.
Wow, the call at the right time. Tight end delay. On the left side, Allen comes in and just waits for the defense to commit, then gets to the outside, little pop pass, and then showing the athletic ability for the backup tight end, fifth-year senior.
Couple 20-yard plays on this drive, and then in the wrong direction as soon as they turned to the run game. Merriweather and Williams got right on Breece Hall. And another negative play, 7 yards.
Every time they hand the ball off, it seems like Merriweather just shoots the gap. I think that's maybe his job today. And that's probably what Keith Patterson, the defensive coordinator, talked about, was that what? Anytime they hand the ball off, you just go run. Just go run, make havoc. And he's been creating havoc for this run game.
That'll take care of the third quarter. 31-21, Texas Tech with the lead over Iowa State as we head to the fourth. How about a look at this week's college football playoff rankings brought to you by Goodyear. There's your top 10. The lone loser thus far, Baylor, an upset of Oklahoma.
Notre Dame has one tonight against Virginia. Wait on the status of Brennan Armstrong for Virginia. See if they've got a shot tonight. And Oregon, you know, Pac-12 after dark. You never
Never know.
Never know.
Brock Purdy slings it to the edge. Another missed tackle, a couple of them out there. Rico Jeffers had the first crack at him. Let's see where the spot is, a couple of yards short. Gain of 15 there.
Remember, I had a offensive coach tell me what's the difference between a 15-yard run and a 15-yard reception. Is that they're both 15 yards. On that last one, that's how you get Breece Hall involved. If he can't get it in the backfield, line him up outside, get a positive gain now, 3rd and short.
Brock Purdy on the rollout, looking for Kolar, and he's got him, caught at the 15-yard line. First down, Iowa State at a gain of 9.
3rd down's the money down, and I'm going to the money player, right? You go to the money player and Charlie Kolar. If he's available, you find to just put it on him. That time, the 6'6" tight end makes it happen.
Hall cut down around the 12. Philip Bleedy got there. We were watching that Baylor-Oklahoma game. By the way, Dave Aranda explained after the game why they kicked the field goal late. It's because point differential, the top of the Big 12 is so tight right now, point differential could come into play as a tiebreaker. Purdy, Kolar, back shoulder, end zone. Got it, touchdown, Iowa State. Kolar and Monroe been battling all day, and Charlie wins that one, the 12-yard touchdown.
Kolar's won the last couple of opportunities when the football's thrown his way. This one is just chemistry between quarterback, tight end. That's back shoulder. And Eric Monroe just doesn't have a chance. I get it. He's standing there saying, what more can I do? I mean, what more can I do? I'm sticking to this guy like glue, and yet a tight window. Purdy gets it in. Yeah, excited Kolar on the sideline.
Extra point is good, and Iowa State 14-0 in the second half over Tech to get back in it.
It's just about finding the time, Make the opportunities count. Brock Purdy fired up.
That Big Ten West is wild. Wisconsin a winner today over Northwestern. So Roderick Thompson, see if they can get this offense back to where it was in the first half when they dominated, but the Iowa State defense has taken charge in this second half. Gain of 13 there.
Well, the offense was rolling, but 4th down came up on 2 opportunities, and they didn't make it on 4th down. 2 opportunities to kick field goals, they didn't do it. And it's been about this Iowa State defense in the second half. You've seen only giving up 100 yards. They've made their adjustments, it seems like, for Donovan Smith. They've been able to keep him corralled this second half.
Big debut in the first half for Donovan. 3rd different quarterback they've had this year. He'll fire it. Got a man wide open around midfield. Ezukama coming up with big plays down to the 41-yard line. He gets 21 there. Dawn?
Well, Beth, Iowa State's defense only giving up about 8 points per game in second halves this season. So far, they're helping that average, and they've had Will McDonald back in and out. You know, I talked about the lack of communication in the first half. Completely different Iowa State sideline here in the second half, especially on the defensive side of the ball. They're feeling it. It's quiet over here on Texas Tech sideline.
Well, then you have to have a quiet confidence that you can go out and win this game. And that's what Sonny Cumbie, the head coach, has been talking about. We just got to execute. We know we can play good football. We just got to execute. And right now, trying to execute a drive right here.
Receiver screen, and there's the ISU defense again, sniffing it out. Kimani King was all over Price.
Just read and react. That ball's thrown. You just got to go fight through. Kimani King, nice head across, makes the tackle in the open field. Outstanding job there, Kimani King.
Price has hurt them tonight. 6 catches, 130 yards, and a touchdown. On 2nd and 10. Play action, blitz coming. Smith on the run, and the pass will come up short, and it's 3rd down. Mike Rose making things tough on the young quarterback.
That's sort of been the answer Iowa State has done in the second half. They've sent pressure. They're forcing Donovan Smith to have to get rid of the football quicker, not allow him to sit back in the pocket, make a decision. Now they're saying, we're going to speed up that process, speed up your progressions. That time forced an errant throw. See if they bring pressure again here on 3rd down.
7 for 12 today. Pressure coming right in his face. He'll loft it deep downfield. And the catch is made at the 13-yard line. Price were in a big collision with Young on the sideline.
You said it, Beth. They brought pressure right in the face of Donovan Smith. But watch the redshirt freshman. Hangs in there, delivers the ball right where it needs to be. And Miles Price to be able to hold on to that football. He took a shot at the end of that play by Isham Young, and he holds on to the football.
Blasted the mouth guard right out of his mouth, but it did appear that he got a foot down to make a 28-yard catch. And we'll be back in a moment. Welcome back to ESPN College Football Veterans Week on ESPN, brought to you by USAA. A 3-point game, Texas Tech with the lead. A big catch for Miles Price, who takes a big hit and holds on.
Yeah, just first of all, a nice throw again by Donovan Smith. He puts it out there to where Price can grab it. The nice hit by Isham Young, and take a listen to it. You talk about concentration and holding on to the ball. Good job there by Miles Price.
Appears to be okay. He will come out for a play. His 7th catch, 158 yards today. And Donovan Smith continues to shine at quarterback. Roderick Thompson trying to stay in bounds. Touchdown, Texas Tech.
Nice play design. Watch the eyes of the quarterback. He holds everyone just for a second. And it allows Roderick Thompson to get to the outside. Does he get in? Yeah, he does. He sticks that ball across the pylon, across the goal line. Nice balance there by Roderick Thompson.
9th touchdown in his last 7 games, and he fires up that pump jack. Extra point is good. The response by the Red Raiders. And it's back up to a 10-point lead with under 11 minutes to go. 6 plays, 75 yards in 2.5 minutes.
I just like the way that everyone paused for a second because they're looking at the quarterback. And Greg Eisworth is keeping his eyes on Donovan Smith, and that's how Thompson was able to get outside to the corner and race into the end zone.
Calm and confident, Donovan Smith at quarterback, 295 yards passing, 46 rushing. And they seem to have found another good one, the redshirt freshman from Las Vegas. Following in the footsteps of the likes of Patrick Mahomes and Cliff Kingsbury, Graham Harrell, Seth Dagey, B.J. Simmons, Davis Webb, they've had a bunch. Running the air raid over the years. Sonny Cumbie, who says he wants to stay as the offensive coordinator for new head coach Joey McGuire. More on that when we come back. Hey, we're going to stick around and tell you about Big 12 Now on ESPN Plus, which is a must-have for Big 12 fans. Next Saturday, Kansas is in Fort Worth, where they take on TCU. And with college basketball season now underway, look at all the men's and women's basketball games we've got coming your way. If you're a Big 12 fan, you got to have it. Sign up today at ESPNplus.com/Big12 now. Brock Purdy hauled down by Tyree Wilson.
You want to see an effort play. Tyree Wilson, I mean, he comes all the way from the backside. I'm talking about just hunting his prey. Outstanding job there, tracking Purdy down.
Pressure coming up the middle. He has to move to his right, and the throw for a first down to Chase Allen.
A one-handed grab there by Allen, and now it's Purdy and this Iowa State offense having to go quick. They're going to have to push the ball now, being down 10.
Got 6 there, first down. Hall, he's got some room. Gets out to the 45 at a gain of 8. Such high expectations. You know, they had so much coming back, so much experience with this offense around Matt Campbell now in his 6th season. They lost the early one to Iowa and then got things rolling a bit. Stumbled badly at West Virginia and now in big trouble against another team with a losing record in the conference on the road at Texas Tech. With 9.5 minutes to try and change the course of the rest of their season, which includes Oklahoma next week. Purdy across midfield and into Red Raider territory. It's Allen. They've really utilized the tight ends in this second half without the ability to run.
Yeah, it's been Kohler, Allen this whole entire second half. Sprinkled in a little Hutchinson, but that's 10 passes in a row for Brock Purdy that he's completed. So he's on a nice little run right now.
Purdy with the time. Forward progress on this catch, out to or down to the 42 to Wilson.
That's 11 passes in a row now. So they're going to probably abandon the run game. You may get it one, sprinkle one here and there, but Purdy right now seems to be like, you know what? I'm going to go to 8, 17, and 88, and now throw in Chase Allen, number 11, as well.
Purdy, again, the pass protection is there, and then the flag flies as it breaks down. Purdy forced out of bounds, but the flag in the area of a hold. Darrell Simmons trying to contain Devin Drew.
Holding, number 55. Offense, 10-yard penalty. Still second down.
Right there on the right side of the screen, 55. He's staying in there, but just that little hook. And then the bring down, the grab down. So the hook arm on the outside. I've always said it's hard to kind of disguise that when you got white gloves on and a red jersey on the opposite side. Officials see that grab and that pull down.
You want your gloves to match the other team's jersey, right?
I'm just saying I would have worn red gloves today, man.
Crafty defensive guys. Wide open. Purdy hooks up with Noel. Inside the 10-yard line. And first and goal for the Cyclones.
These over-drag routes have been available. It's just that Purdy hasn't had the time to see them. He's been having to throw the ball a little early, whether it's to Hall, whether it's to the tight ends. But these over-drag routes have been there. And that time, the connection with Noel, I think it's been one of those that they got to continue to find those types of plays.
43 yards. That puts Purdy over 300 yards passing. He's hit 12 in a row. And that one is picked off on the goal line. Intercepted by Dadrian Taylor Demerson. And a miscommunication with his receiver. Purdy claiming there was a hole defensively, but that is the 3rd interception for the Red Raiders.
I think Purdy's trying to get the ball to Kohler, and he's hung up right there at the line of scrimmage. There was a little hold in there, and the ball was thrown where Purdy thought that Kohler was going to be. It looks like Reggie Pearson who's the safety, had a little bit of a hole, and I'm wondering, did they call that? Oh, they missed the call, but it's a penalty flag on there. Is that excessive celebration by Texas Tech?
Yeah, the flag is way out here at midfield.
Here's the play again. Watch the left side of the screen.
Nope.
It was a little hold I saw early in the down by 22 Pearson. And that's what Purdy's upset about, is that he was throwing to where Kohler was supposed to be, but yet
after the play is over, unsportsmanlike conduct on Texas Tech on the following numbers: 24, 25, 3, and 54. Excessive celebration that carried outside the team area. Half the distance to the goal. It'll be first down, Texas Tech. Previous play of an interception is now under further review.
And now they will also review the interception to make sure it was a catch. So that last play has been overturned under review, and another good call by the officials. This was not an interception.
Yeah, you can see the ball touches the ground, never fully under control. You see both hands, but that ball touches in between. They overruled the call on the field. But remember, the unsportsmanlike conduct penalties put this first and goal.
From the 4. And a flag on the snap there.
Prior to the snap, false start, number 57. Offense, 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
That's the center, Jaylin Noel. The officials are coming over to the sideline now to talk with Sonny Cumbie. And you see at the top of the screen, there's a water bottle that lands on the field of play. And now reports from down on the field that there are things being thrown out onto the surface.
I think the officials are just trying to figure out, hey, how do we handle this? What's going on here?
Background, if you're just joining us, right? We have had a ton of reviews.
Yes.
From our vantage point, they've all been called correctly, but they all have gone against Texas Tech. And so there is some frustration in the stadium, and that's where we're at here.
And we've seen numerous times where these objects have been thrown on the field. Now, they have not affected the play on the field, but in that particular instance, there's a bottle thrown on the field right before the snap. And that's where Matt Campbell is saying,
absolutely no place for that.
You can't do that.
And we think that's what the officials have done with both teams here, getting everybody together. Send it down to Dawn. Dawn, who's down there on the field. Dawn?
Yeah, just listen to the official. They were actually pointing out the area and this segment to security where some things had flown onto the field so that they could go address that segment and that section in the stands. That's what the official was talking to security about.
And security has moved significantly down in front of the stands over there in that corner of the end zone, and have made their way up into the stands. 7:25 to go. We've got a stoppage in play. Back in a moment. A strange scene here in Lubbock after projectiles were thrown onto the field. The police have gone in and cleared out the two sections over there in the corner of the end zone. And as a result, as you can see, the mass of people just moved over a section behind the Iowa State bench or moved over a section into the end zone. There have been announcements made that any projectiles thrown will get you kicked out of here and possibly lead to a penalty. It's a direct snap to Breece Hall, and he's chopped down around the 9-yard line on 1st and goal for Iowa State. They're down 10 with 7:18 to play.
Wow, that's a lot to unpack there. And you think about the call that was overturned, what could have been an interception for Texas Tech. That call was overturned. And now you got to play defense. You got to go out. This crowd is down into it. And again, Brock Purdy.
Flag on the snap. False start.
Part of the snap. False start. Number 8. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
I mean, this crowd has really gotten into it. They've moved sections, but yet you see the sideline for Texas Tech kind of edging the crowd to get louder.
You would think that the Cyclones would be well prepared for this with Brock Purdy making his 44th start. And 4 of the 5 guys along that front line have over 20 starts themselves.
And again, this is where your big-time players step up. Hutchinson, Kohler down here in the red zone.
Purdy against a 3-man rush. Hall out of the backfield, the spin at the 10, creating space for himself. Breece Hall, touchdown, Iowa State. Second time he has spun out of trouble and scored.
This is where your superstars step up. We mentioned Hutchinson, Kohler, but when it comes to Breece Hall, enough said. We know what he can do rushing the football, but this is out of the backfield. This is what he's able to do when the ball's in his hands. His 3rd touchdown of the day is a reception of him just making an unbelievable play, turned an unbelievable play into another touchdown. Special. Special guys make special plays.
Forget the total yards today for Breece. It's the red zone touches and the 3 touchdowns for Breece.
This is just a check down. He just runs to the outside. No one's there. They just check it down. But he turns a 5-yard play into a touchdown. I mean, all the hype all season long, and he's showing you why he's on the top of Mel Kiper's big board at that running back position. It's those plays, it's those moments. And we'll probably see that on his draft highlight come next year.
Back to a 3-point game with 6:20 to go. And we revisit once again the 2 4th-down stops by the Iowa State defense when Texas Tech was in field goal range. Kirk, at the time, with a team that's trying to win one for their new coach, trying to win one to get bowl eligible, you didn't mind the 4th-down decisions, but the play call may be better on one than the other.
Well, let's be honest. The Texas Tech defense has played well throughout the game. Now, you think about going for it, you say, hey, my defense is playing well. Let's continue to do it. But the missed opportunity on 6 points, it could have been there. And now you're asking, in his first start, Donovan Smith to maintain a 3-point lead. There's a lot going into this drive right here. Can Texas Tech answer the score of Iowa State?
Those field goals may be moot if they can work some clock and score here. And they will be 75 yards away. Brock Purdy with 3 touchdown passes.
This offensive line gets a ton of credit for what they've been able to do in the second half to give the time for Purdy to make some plays.
So Roderick Thompson will run it out across the 30. Good, powerful legs from Roderick. Young with the tackle. Ball security big here for the Red Raiders.
And again, we've talked about this throughout the game, that Donovan Smith, the redshirt freshman, comes over to the sideline, gets the call from Sonny Cumbie, runs back in to the huddle. And this is something that they're going to continue to run this clock. They're going to bleed this clock. So as this drive goes along, you got to use the clock as your ally as well if you're Texas Tech.
Have not beaten Iowa State since Patrick Mahomes was here at quarterback for their interim head coach, Sonny Cumbie. And all the emotions around the new guy in town, Joey McGuire, taking over next year. He's already here, and he'll be working with the team throughout the rest of the season, but going to let Sonny Cumbie and the rest of the coaching staff take the day-to-day. But he was hired on Monday after 22 years as a high school football coach in Texas, and then the last 5 as an assistant to Dave Aranda and Matt Rule at Baylor. And he's trying to make the jump to the Red Raiders. Pass broken up, incomplete down the middle. His big selling point was, why can't Texas Tech play for a Big 12 championship? Almost everybody else in the league has. What will it take to get them there? And they cannot get the conversion and will give the ball back with under 5 minutes to go.
Yeah.
And their first 3 and out.
Greg Eisworth just comes in and makes a great play there. But again, Donovan Smith trying to make a play there, get the ball over the top of the linebackers. But a great play by Eisworth.
Fair catch at the 20, so 80 yards away for Iowa State. Let's go to Kevin in a studio update.
Yeah, and Beth, after falling behind 7-0, James Cook and Georgia Acho have dominated this game.
Yeah, he's having himself a day. He has 3 touchdowns on the ground, and he is looking really, really good, as is this Georgia football team.
For the state number 1, 34-10 lead. Will Levis and Kentucky trying to get back to good. They've lost 3 in a row after the great start. Kentucky in Nashville to take on Vanderbilt. It'll start on the ESPN app. Beth?
Thanks, guys. Yeah, Georgia looking good.
4-player lined up in the backfield, kicking team. That penalty will be enforced at the previous spot, 5 yards. Replay, 4th down.
I'll have to re-kick it. I was going to say Georgia looking good. Ohio State, a strong performance still to come tonight. Oregon, Pac-12 after dark for you. Notre Dame in primetime tonight on ABC. And Oklahoma State certainly excited about the opportunity with Baylor upsetting Oklahoma today. Of course, for the Pokes, win out, and they are in not only the Big 12 championship game, but perhaps back into the playoff picture.
Texas Tech playing spoiler today, trying to at least.
So McNamara will go back out there to punt it to Jaylin Noel. And then they'll look to hand it over to Brock Purdy, who's had a 3-touchdown performance here in the second half. Big, high, booming kick. And same as it was the last time. Ball at the 20-yard line. It's coming up college hoops tonight. Brock Purdy trying to lead the Cyclones on a game-winning drive. They'll pick up 7 there on 1st down and trying to hustle back to the line of scrimmage. Go a little tempo here. Purdy now 17 of 20 in the second half. 3 touchdowns and a pick. Four-man pressure. Incomplete. Had Noel with a step on the defender at midfield. And it's 3rd down.
Texas Tech got away with one there. They weren't aligned correctly. DeMarcus Fields is running over late. You see the defender running over late, and he actually bumps Noel off. Could have been a penalty called on Texas Tech, but Fields not communicating, getting over late. Missed opportunity there for Iowa State. Could have been a big play. Texas Tech bringing pressure.
Purdy looking for his tight end, Kohler, and he's got him. 1st down, Cyclones.
You can see the attention that Texas Tech realized with Kohler on the outside. They brought in the corner, number 8, Malik Dunlap. They put him on Charlie Kohler. Still a completion.
7 catches, 71 yards for Charlie. And a 9-yard gain there to Wilson. Schooler prevented the first down. But there's some green grass now for the Iowa State receivers. Or green turf.
No, I hear you, but it's about the pass rush for Texas Tech. They got to find a rush here.
Purdy stepping up, reading the defense. Big hole for Brock Purdy in the slide down inside the 40. He runs for 19.
This is the underrated part of Brock Purdy's game. He's a gamer. He realizes the situation. Everybody's covered downfield. The rush gets up too far, and Purdy takes off and picks up what the defense gives him. Underrated part of Brock Purdy's game.
Looks like we got a timeout called.
Texas Tech has called their timeout 30 seconds in late.
A look at Brock Purdy. Started out cool with a couple of picks and hot since. Down by as many as 17 at the half.
I think it's been his experience, too, in these situations. We have not seen panic on the face of Brock Purdy.
Purdy lets it go and incomplete. Actually, good defensive play by the receiver Hutchinson, as DeMarcus Fields was the better receiver in that.
That was really about the rush, I think, from Texas Tech. Watch as I believe it was Merriweather late. He comes in, he rushes that throw from Purdy. So Purdy wanted to hold in there just a little bit longer, but Merriweather with the rush, he had to get rid of it a lot sooner. And you mentioned the nice little play at the end by Fields.
2nd and 10, under 3 to go. Bring 4 guys again. That's it. Purdy. Incomplete. Big hit from Monroe, and he and Kolar continue their battle. And Eric won that one. And it's 3rd down and 10.
Give Keith Patterson a ton of credit, the defensive coordinator for Texas Tech. He took Monroe off of Kolar, but he still keeps Monroe's eyes on the tight end. He's just not covering man-to-man. So it's kind of like a spy coverage.
Pressure coming. Purdy complete. Kolar fighting for the first down, and he's got it. Going right back to his tight end for a gain of 11.
Oh, man, that's at the big time, the stars. The stars shine when you need it most. And I got to have it play. Number 88's been the guy, especially in this second half. 2 touchdowns in the second half alone. A big game for Charlie Kolar.
Breece Hall will run with it. Taken down around the 26-yard line. Rico Jeffers was there. What's at stake for Iowa State? Well, they're trying to stay right in the thick of the race for a spot in the Big 12 championship game. Still can get to a 10-win season. For Texas Tech, 1 win away from bowl eligibility on a week where they hired a new head coach to lead them in the future, Joey McGuire. With a freshman quarterback making his first start tonight. Or will it be the veteran Purdy? Brock will run with it. Pushes his way close to the 20. And it's going to be 3rd down. And now Texas Tech wants to use another timeout, figuring, okay, we would like as much time left here as possible if it's a tie game or we trail.
So let's play defense here, right? Defensively, Texas Tech, what's the first person, or who's the first person that you want to take away? It's got to be number 88, the tight end. He's been Brock Purdy's guy in the second half. So He's got 6 catches, I think, in the second half alone. I'm keeping an eye on 88.
And that's him.
Now he's down. Yeah. I mean, he's been utilized throughout. He may be just getting a little blow real quick, getting the breath, because they're probably coming to him right here on this 3rd and 2. If they don't hand it off to the back as well. Breece Hall is still in play here.
Now, we think Charlie just sat down on the field during the timeout. That was not an injury issue that he would have to leave the game. He can stay.
Yeah, he's just trying to get a little oxygen, get a little air. And in this 4th quarter, they're 3 for 3 on 3rd down.
3rd down and 2. They are within Andrew Mevis's range right now. And now Iowa State will call a timeout.
Second half, 30 seconds of length.
They will have a couple remaining.
That will be a 1-minute timeout. 1 minute.
Got a lot of football still to come today. Kevin, what's ahead?
Yeah, I mean, Beth, we're not wishing this game over, but we do want to let America know that Ken Seals and Vanderbilt still eyeing their first SEC win, taking on a Kentucky team that is scrambling. They've lost 3 in a row. Kentucky and Vanderbilt coming your way. It'll start on the ESPN app.
Thanks, Kevin. Here's a look at your updated Big 12 standings with Baylor's upset of Oklahoma. Still, the Sooners and Pokes can win out and get into the Big 12 championship game. And hope for Baylor, Iowa State. Of course, Oklahoma State has a tiebreak with Baylor. Baylor has a tiebreak with Iowa State. And Iowa State has a tiebreak with Oklahoma State. So that's why point differentials and head-to-heads could become huge here in the last 2 weeks.
Well, it's about scoring points now, right? It's as funny as it sounds. As many as you can score, especially down the stretch. So it's kind of funny for Iowa State here. 3rd and 2. Your gotta-have-it player has been number 88, Charlie Kolar. Defensively, if you're Texas Tech, that's where my eyeballs go first. Find 88. He's lined up at the bottom of the screen right now, off the ball. Short motion.
Purdy looking that way and lunging for it is Kolar with Pearson on him defensively, and it's a 1st down.
Unstoppable this second half. I mean, 88 has been the guy. Yeah, that's why you sit down on the grass or on the turf during the timeout. Get as much water, oxygen as you need, because he's been on fire in the second half, Charlie Kolar.
Catches for 85 yards. They'll try and run it with Breece Hall. He's stuffed at the line. Tyree Wilson and Merriweather were there.
Texas Tech has called their 3rd and final charge timeout of the second half. 30 seconds in length.
Last time out for Texas Tech. Andrew Mevis is 15 of 17 on the season. As long as 54, they are within that range. The 2-point loss to Baylor, the 3-point win over Oklahoma State. They've had a couple of nail-biters. For Texas Tech, how critical it would be to get a win, to get to bowl eligibility. They got Oklahoma State and Baylor left, but those extra practices, that extra time with their new head coach and with each other, be so critical to their development. Purdy to the end zone, incomplete. Overthrew Jared Russ, tried to lunge for it. And now it's 3rd down.
He had Russ too. He did. I think he just had to lob that one. He tried to put it on Russ instead of just lobbing it and allowing Russ to run underneath it.
They've been perfect on 3rd down here in the 4th quarter.
And here it is again. 3rd and 7. We mentioned it's been Kohler time, but I think they may go away from Kohler here to find Xavier Hutchinson if they get the one-on-one.
14th play of the drive. Purdy with pressure coming. Flushes him. Brock will run for it. Knocked out of bounds inside the 15. And it looks like they're going to mark it around the 12-yard line, and it's 4th down. Run out by Colin Schooler. And they will go for the field goal here to try and tie it up. 1:05 to go.
Terrific job by Texas Tech. They take away Kohler up top and Hutchinson, forcing Purdy to have to go make a play. And Colin Schooler getting him short of the 1st down.
29-yard attempt for Mevis. And they had to reset the clock. Connor Guest, the long snapper. Blake Clark, the hold. Mevis, the kick to tie it. And it's good. Even at 38 with 1 minute to go.
Get the snap, hold, kicks through. And now you have 1 minute on the clock.
Let's go back to the end of the 2nd quarter.
Yeah.
When in just over a minute to go in the half, Donovan Smith was able to lead them downfield on a scoring drive.
The one thing in that drive, he had a timeout in his back pocket. He's got 0 timeouts for this opportunity. We'll see what happens here on the kickoff and see what he has to work with. But remember, no timeouts left for Texas Tech.
They've erased a 17-point deficit here in the 2nd half. Outscoring Texas Tech 24-7 to knot this thing at 38. And the go-ahead drive stalls. They'll take the 3. And now Mevis to boot it away.
Look at that picture right there.
Tahj Brooks and Kaylin Geiger are back deep.
Kohler is, see him sitting on the sideline. He's been working today, and now Donovan Smith getting his opportunity, the redshirt freshman.
And it will be from the 25-yard line. The interim head coach, Sonny Cumbie, the redshirt freshman quarterback in his first start, Donovan Smith. And it's go time for the Red Raiders.
And I think what Sonny Cumbie is telling his quarterback is that, remember, we don't need it all in one play. So take what the defense gives us, okay? If it's a check down, it has to be a check down. It's not a situation where he's throwing to the sideline right now. Try to utilize the whole field. 1 minute left, 0 timeouts. You still have the whole field in front of you to complete a pass to anyone.
They'll go empty. Iowa State showing a 3-man pressure. Dropping it off underneath. And out to the 34-yard line.
Nice.
Place for 9.
Yeah, drive starter. Get the drive going. Get everybody lined back up. You know, if you get the 1st down on the next one, the clock stops.
Smith. Got to be mindful of that sideline as well. They don't go for it. And now finally the 2nd effort to lunge out of bounds to stop the clock and move the chains for the 1st down as well. Xavier White.
Yeah, you mentioned it, Beth, right there. If White stays in bounds, that clock would have kept going. He fights his way, gets out of bounds, and stops the clock. Again, still plenty of time left, 32 seconds left. I think they need about another, 20 yards for a comfortable field goal opportunity.
Garabay's long this year is 48. Smith. He'll run out across the 45. Try and get the ball back to the hash mark as quick as they can. A gain of 9 there. Smith stepping up the release, caught into Iowa State territory at the 45. It's Miles Price again.
Clock it here.
I think that was the first time all game he went under center, and he clocks it with 8 seconds to go.
And they've got one more play, and that's to the outside. So defensively, you already know they need to get out of bounds. So the routes that Texas Tech are going to run are going to be to the outside. Out routes, quick out routes too. 5 to 7 yards. That's all you have with 8 seconds left. You need to preserve at least 1 second left on that clock to give you an opportunity to try a field goal. I think you call timeout, Iowa State. You got too many guys.
Iowa State has called their second charge timeout of the second half. 30 seconds in length.
Too many guys inside the hash marks. Remember, if they run a play and anything in the middle of the field, they get tackled, game's over. So I should have 2 or 3 guys on each sideline protecting the sideline.
Yeah.
It's not going to do me any good having a couple defenders in the middle of the field.
The 30-yard line is a place where Garibay has made a field goal from. If they can get the ball to the 30, he's hit from 48.
But any play in between the numbers, you get tackled, the game's over. So I'm guarding the sidelines. And I think that's what Iowa State defensively is talking about. Hey, guys, we guard the sidelines. And now you take away a couple of defenders from the middle of the field.
He has hit from 45 today. And the wind earlier has all but dissipated. Smith dumps it off underneath. White able to get out of bounds. 3 seconds left.
That's a minimal gain, and now you're talking about looks to be what, about a... Whew.
Here comes Jonathan Garibay. Good from 45. As long this season, 48. He is 11 for 11 on the year. This would be a 62-yard attempt.
Iowa State, you call timeout, maybe get a defender back there just in case.
Iowa State has called their third and final charge timeout of the game. 30 seconds late.
It will be the snap of Jackson Knotts out of the hold of Austin McNamara and the leg of Jonathan Garibay, as Tech tries to pull off the upset of Iowa State.
I thought they would attack the sideline a little bit better than that on the previous play. That was just more of a check down that Iowa State invited him. Hey, throw the check down. That's a minimal game for us. But I think with this 62-yard attempt, there's 2 things that come in play here, Beth. With the longer kick, always the trajectory of the kick. Kickers are used to getting the ball up higher because they're a little bit closer in. Now, 62 yards, you have to always worry about the trajectory of a kicker kicking it low. Iowa State called the timeout, and now they will send a returner back.
Yep.
And if you're Texas Tech again, after the kick, you're yelling, you got to cover, you got to cover.
62 yards for the win. Jonathan Garibay, the boot is away, and it's good!
Wow!